The week before college was supposed to feel like a threshold. Boxes half-filled, lists taped to walls, a future with a clear address. Mine felt like a narrowing hallway instead, everything closing in, quiet, inevitable. My parents sat me down at the dining table on a Tuesday afternoon. The table was bare except for a folded envelope I recognized immediately, tuition paperwork. I checked it twice the night before just to be sure it was real. My mother spoke first. She always did when the message needed softening. "We need to talk about the money." My father cleared his throat. I remember noticing how calm they both looked. Not anxious, not apologetic, prepared. They told me they had given my tuition fund to my brother. His business needed it more. He was at a critical stage, an opportunity moment. They said this as if they were explaining the weather, something unfortunate but out of human control. "You'll understand," my father said. "This is about the family. You should be proud you're supporting him." Proud? The word hovered between us, waiting to be accepted. I didn't argue. That surprised them. It surprised me, too, a little. I felt something shut down inside me. Not anger, not shock, more like confirmation. A long-running theory finally proven. My brother had always been framed as potential. I was framed as reliable. He had ideas, I had responsibility. When he failed, it was bad luck. When I succeeded, it was expected. If I argued, I would only be playing my part, the reasonable one, the one who understands, the one who bends. So I nodded. "I'll figure it out," I said. My mother smiled with relief. The conversation moved on. Dinner plans, weather, normal life resumed instantly, which told me everything I needed to know. That night, I packed. Not dramatically. I didn't take everything, just what fit in my car and a suitcase that had been sitting empty under my bed. I left a note on my desk. Not accusatory, not emotional, just logistics. Where I was going, that I was safe. I slept somewhere else that night, a friend's couch. The next morning, I drove out of town before anyone woke up. The first few months were unstable. I worked whatever paid quickly. Warehouse shifts, remote contract work. I barely understood at first. I learned fast because I had to. There was no backup plan anymore. No quiet safety net humming underneath my life. What surprised me wasn't the difficulty, it was the relief. Without expectations pressing down on me, I noticed things more clearly. I saw inefficiencies, gaps, needs. People complained about constantly but never solved. I started building small tools, nothing glamorous, scripts, systems, fixes that save time. At first, I sold them cheap. Then, I didn't. Money came in slowly, then steadily. I didn't tell anyone. There was no one to tell. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt focused. I didn't go to college, not because I rejected it, but because my life had already moved on. I learned what I needed when I needed it. Some lessons were expensive, some were humbling, none were theoretical. About a year after I left, I heard about my brother's business through an aunt. Casual phrasing, things didn't work out. Market conditions. No one said poor decisions, no one said warning signs ignored. Then it became official, a public filing, a quiet notice, authority stepping in where optimism had failed. The business was closed, debts documented. End of story. I read the notice online in the same detached way I'd read utility bills back home years ago. Not with satisfaction, with clarity. Around that time, my parents started calling. At first, they left messages about nothing in particular, checking in, asking how I was, telling me they were proud of me. Now, retroactively, as if pride could be reassigned like money once had been. They never mentioned the tuition conversation. They didn't need to. It lived in the space between us, unchanged. I didn't pick up, not out of spite, not to punish them. I just didn't know how to re-enter a relationship where my worth had always been conditional on sacrifice. Silence felt safer than reopening negotiations. By then, my work had scaled beyond anything I had imagined during those first months. Not flashy wealth, quiet, controlled success, the kind that doesn't need explaining, the kind that survives scrutiny. Sometimes I think about that envelope on the table, how close it was to being mine, how easily my life could have followed a different, narrower script. I don't regret leaving. I regret that leaving was the only way to become fully myself. My phone still rings sometimes. The number still shows up. I let it ring out, set the phone face down, and go back to what I'm building. Some bridges don't burn. They just stop being crossed.